Kicking it off.
Hey, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. Sort of trickling in, seeing you all in the chat there.
Yay. Cool.
Telling us where you're all calling in from. We have Florida, Los Angeles, my couch.
Yeah, I think we should definitely bring back like couch streaming. I think that's that's amazing.
The couch is where it's at.
Yeah.
Were we not presenting, I think we'd probably prefer to be
Yeah, good work posture. Hi, everyone. Okay, cool.
So yeah, we'll just wait like a couple minutes to sort of see people group in.
I'm keen to hear how everyone's feeling about Phoenix. Oh my gosh, just like unbelievably exciting. Yeah, like, I think many of our team spent their weekends doing anything else but playing with everything. Oh, someone met me at South by. Awesome. Yay. Hey, Lindsay. Cool. Okay, cool. Everyone following up.
Joining us from Italy at midnight. That's dedication.
Wow, that is dedication. That is definitely it.
Yes. It is being recorded, I will say, and you'll get a link to the recording afterwards. So yeah, don't stress around that. It'll also be posted directly onto YouTube. I'll just pin that.
Epic. Oh, I'm looking forward to today. And I sort of like step up, a bit more hands-on. Should be great.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. We need the elevator music back.
We need the elevator music back?
Yeah, we need the elevator music back.
We've got a request for some elevator music, so we're going to get some going.
We're working on it. Get some custom made. We'll get some AI generated elevator music. Oh, wow.
This is a little track I like to call Daydreaming.
Beautiful.
I like to call it that because that's what StreamYard calls it.
Very creative.
Cool. So we've got nearly 200 people joining us. So it might be time for the countdown, Jessie. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it. For sure.
Right, sweet.
Let's do it.
Hello, good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is, wherever you are joining us. And welcome to Leonardo 102. My name is Joel, and I'm joining you from Leonardo in the Sydney office, or rather from my home. And I'm here with Jessie.
Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Jessie Hughes. I'm a senior creative technologist at Leonardo. I get to do all the fun stuff like play with the tools. We have an amazing team who make the tools and I get to go play with them. So I'm here today to really kind of step it up a bit from last time. So 101 was really like, welcome to the platform, just so you understood where the buttons were. Today, I'm actually going to get into workflows. We launched our own foundational model last week called Phoenix. This is like the most exciting thing to happen for us this year. It's incredibly exciting. It's phenomenal, and the capability is really, really great. So we've really kind of just changed around a bit of the workflow today to focus on Phoenix, so you'll have an idea of what is out there. And then I'm also going to be jumping into some of our more legacy workflows in terms of using image guidance. As a professional or someone who uses these tools every single day, like these are workflows that you will be doing in your own life. So if this is part of your new creative workflow, then hopefully we can get some tips and tricks just to make it that little bit easier for you.
Yeah, thanks, Jessie. Yeah, it should be a really good one. Like Jessie said, this is sort of stepping it up a little bit from 101, sort of our series of introductory webinars that sort of bring you from sort of beginner to expert. Don't know if you joined us for the first one. I have pinned the link to 103 in the chat. This session is going to be recorded and posted on YouTube. And hopefully by the end of this, you've got a little bit more of an intermediate understanding of how to use Leonardo. Without further ado, I think I'll drop off and let you take over, Jesse, and you can get things going.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, cool. Oh, was that me or you? No, that's me. Okay, cool. Let me do this. Okay, so today, this is going to be some of the workflows that we're going to cover. So firstly, we're going to get into Phoenix. And so doing image generation using Phoenix. Now, what's really special about this new workflow is we're able to edit using prompting. So I know we've all dreamed of this. Anyone who's been in Gen AI for a while is being able to directly kind of almost like talk back to the image, being like, no, I didn't want it to be blue. I wanted it to be purple. So using Phoenix's edit with AI feature, we're actually able to do that. So this is a really cool new way of using language to iterate and generate back and forth. And then I'm going to very quickly go into Canvas Editor for image refining, so cleaning up a few elements. So this is just an example of very basic what we're going to work through this morning. I apparently was really on an orange juice kick yesterday. And so we're going to focus on making like an orange juice campaign throughout all of this today. And just have a play of like how easy these different tools are to create really what I could say quite high-end imagery that previously would have been quite tedious and difficult to make. And how we can kind of use different styles to have energy and have this like dynamic kind of feature to it, up until like quite complex images. Like Phoenix is able to handle detailed complex images incredibly well. It's astounding to me. I can't believe it. So we're going to kind of like go through these workflows. We're then going to go into image guidance for direction. And so this is being able to use like content reference, style reference, and character reference to guide where we go with that. So in terms of the composition or the aesthetic or the character, so being able to like give much more direction to where we want to go. And then using real time for a lot of editing. I use real time a lot for my edits, and I think it's quite a fun way of working. So being able to create different assets, so different, like really nailing a particular asset and then combining them together using real time, so that you're able to kind of like create with a bit more like a hands-on direction. And then just the basic other stuff we're going to have, like having that like transparent images. So being able to like remove the background, for example, like taking this glass and being able to remove the background to put it onto something else, and how transparent images help with workflow. Again, editing, we might have a little peek at some elements and additional artistic control if we have enough time, and then resolving images with upscaling. Okay, that is the general plan for today. Okay, so hopefully we're big fans of orange juice. So let me get into where we're going to start today. Okay, so I will go from the beginning because I think it's important to see the workflow again. So today we're going to go into image generation. So this is up here in the left. It's also down here in the left column, which hopefully we're familiar with. Now, Phoenix is solved in here. So this is in this left menu. This is kind of where we make a lot of our choices for the presets. Now, Phoenix is quite different to the other models. So if you have a look at, say, for example, if we go here, the workflow is different. Now, Phoenix was launched this week, so last week or whatever time, I can't remember time. So I think as we roll it out, it is going to be able to do a few more features with the platform. But for now, this is the basics. Now, it has a thing called prompt enhance in the left. Now, we want to be using prompt enhancing with Phoenix because it's really clever and smart and works very well. You can turn it off if you feel that it's not giving you exactly what you want. You can turn it off, but I would recommend having automatic on. You can then choose which kind of like preset style you want from this drop-down menu. So if you're wanting to have still this like cinematic effect, or if you want to have illustration, or if you want to have, I don't know, portraiture or anything like that, you can pick it from here. And that's kind of the beginning. You'll see when you go into advanced settings which model you're using, and that's obviously got Phoenix on. Something to note, photoreal can't work with Phoenix right now. That doesn't matter, like the images are still amazing, but you will be getting a different look from Phoenix versus from the other models, but that's kind of the point. Okay, cool. So for this basic workflow, I'm just going to go trying to remember what my previous ones were. So I've pre-done a lot of these. So I'm just going to quickly check my collections. This is where I store a lot of the work that I like. It's a really helpful way of working, just to be quite, just copy things down. Okay, so I'm going to go, so an orange juice commercial. So how about I'll go a photograph of a glass of juice, glass of orange juice for an orange juice commercial with the text orange juice. Kind of self-explanatory. Okay. Now, this is a very, very basic prompt that I've written. Previously, when I use different models, I will use this kind of like improved prompt feature. With Phoenix, because it's got prompt enhance on, I'm just going to let it go and see where it kind of takes me with this, because I do really quite trust it. So if we have a look at some of the ones which I was making as they load through, this is the kind of like generic output that I've got, which is, I mean, it's great. Like you use these for any type of ad. It looks very like product photography. And so that basic message, the basic prompt that I wrote, it did this with a smart one. And I'll just run this as well while it's going. Okay. What I want to show you, it's more interesting, is this ability to take it from an orange juice to an apple juice, right? It's quite a cool, different feature. And this is all hidden in this button here. So I'm not sure if you can see. Let me zoom in. Okay. See this little like pencil with a magic wand? That is your new best friend that is called Edit with AI. Sorry guys, my internet's been a bit rough today. Okay, cool. So this is where we've got this like basic image. That's my first attempt. Great. To me, it's fine. It could do a lot more and be a lot more fun. So I'm going to press this Edit with AI feature. Now, what is different is if I go and be generating up here at the very top, it's going to regenerate every single time. It's going to try and attempt it again and again and again. Whereas if I am using this Edit with AI, it's going to take the seed from this image to remake new stuff. So pretty much what it's going to be building upon the image that we already have created and building upon that. Whereas if I start at the very top, is you starting in from scratch. So I quite like this one. I think that one's kind of fine. I'm going to go. I don't know if we want to add to it. I'm going to say more. So these are very basic, the when you talk to this. So you as simple like change the coat, make it this, add it to blue, add dramatic lighting. So it's a very conversational chat. So I'm going to say make the kitchen feel more warm and homely. Like a loving, messy family kitchen home. Gosh, I don't know, something like that. Okay, so this will be cool to be able to get the difference between something that's quite sterile. I'm like, okay, I want this actually to feel more full of life and love. But as you like these, I can also articulate what kind of font choices I want. So as that loads, let me just show you some of these other ones which I was playing with in terms of font. So you can articulate what kind of font you're trying to achieve, like whether it's block letters, whether it's cursive. We'll go make this one next, but with these, like I wanted to make sure that the letters maintained this cursive nature while replicating like the orange line. And so I said the word orange in cursive romantic text made out of dried orange skin, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's quite articulate with what we're going for. Okay. So you'll notice that we still have the same product photography, but now it's in a different scene. So it knows that I've liked where we started, and now it's trying to give me other versions of that. So if we have a look at these back and forth, side by side, like that is quite, it's quite cool. It's been able to maintain the actual focus element. And then if we wanted to say instead, make the font like I don't know, more, make the font more bold with a white outline on the orange letters. See how that looks. Okay, cool. So let me just remember how I might go steal my prompt from one of these early ones so we can make it in real time. Okay, so let's go make this other version. So I was like thinking I wanted to make this a quite interesting campaign. So I wrote the word orange juice in a cursive romantic text made out of dried orange skin. And I think I said, yeah, it was like a hyper detailed, resembling a high-end advertisement or something like that. Now I'm going to put it on cinematic for this because I want it to have like quite like photorealism with the orange skin lines. So we'll just quickly run that. I'm battling with downstairs internet, so bear with me. Okay, and then as those run as well, I just want to have a look at these different types of like photography that we can create. Now, these are incredibly dynamic images. And I think that's something that Phoenix is really, really excellent with, is this high intensity dynamic feeling. So with this, when I was ideating on some ideas, like it started with this almost like tennis campaign of like how we could create this. And these were just by prompting like a generic design. So a dynamically energized advertising image featuring an isometric orange fruit pattern pops against the background, blah, blah, blah. So I think these were really quite fun. Okay, is that loading? Okay, brilliant. And we've got these different results. So like this is previously, like making something like this would have been so hard in the sense of like you either physically would have had to like make that out of like an orange ride, or you would have had to do some like 3D software and then apply these textures and then get the lighting right and all of that. Like it's very, very complex. Whereas with a tool like Phoenix, it's absolutely phenomenal how it can just rapidly churn this stuff out. Okay, cool. So we've got this orange juice commercial, which I quite like. Okay, nice. And we've got this. Now, what's really special with this multi-layer workflow, like multi-step workflow, is I might really like one of these images, but not like the text as much, or I might really like this, but I can kind of put them together. So I'm going to do this thing down here that says remove background. So if I remove the background on this image, what it's going to do is take out just the text. Now, because it takes out just the text, this means that I can actually start working with it to build some different imagery. And we can start compositing these different assets together. So if we have a look at like this one, for example, I thought this was really, really nice. So this was a combination of a few different steps. And let me show you how we get to that. Okay, so this has, let's go on this one. So it's gone and got rid of the background. So this is located in here, this little drop down thing, and you'll be able to jump between your two different options. And I'm just gonna press this, download image. So it's gonna save the one that has the transparent background for me to use. Okay, I'm gonna make that moody kind of picture that I liked. Okay, now this one, these were like quite dynamic images. It took a process to get to that. And I think that's kind of like when I work, I will focus on getting different elements right first. So I kind of know how to work together. So if we have this one as well, while they process. So I'd started by making like the center style and the aesthetic and the tone and the movement and all of these things to get it right. And then using the edit with AI thing, I could take a prompt of this one as well and add it as like an edit image thing. So if we go here, it's processing, get my internet working. I might just quickly get this up while they are working together. Okay. So another thing you can do, so if we go take this poster that I made before, and then we go add. So we're going to add, this is kind of like an additional little generation window, which is, oops, I want my image that we just made with the translucent background, put it here. And loading. Okay, cool. So we've got our little orange juice thing, and I can kind of like put this now wherever I want as a text. I'm gonna put creativity really down. orange juice. So it's got this like rind vibe. And so I can kind of like use this pattern to be able to design scenes or like text how I want it. Quickly refine that one. Is that loaded yet? Let's have a look. Okay, these have loaded. Okay, so let's go have a quick look back at them. Okay, great. So this image is kind of working, coming together, which is fun. Now, I think the success of this stuff works because it has that sense of dynamic sense to it. It also has this combination of like a moody background with like a very energized foreground, and the text is carried through really nicely. Now, I had previously worked on this stuff, so I just want to show you what I would have done to get to that. So this little drop down shows you the prompt of the orange rind text. And then I have this food photography, which I really liked. I pressed edit with AI, and then I added the orange wording to it. So you can kind of like, build on these beautiful things that you've made before. Now, this is a very, very different style to some of the other things which I was playing on earlier today. I was working on a few different silly versions. This was one of my 6 a.m. very witty. Forgive me. I was going to say, with the memory of a goldfish, remember orange juice. Like it's meant to be this like shopping list kind of vibe. And this was created using like slices of an orange. So being able to articulate like what you want to create out of these different mediums. This was one of my favorite ones. We're still working to get it right. But this sense of energy that can be created in one single step is phenomenal. I think this was my favorite one. Okay, so this is based off one of our colleagues had made a really cool scene, and I wanted to riff off it. So if you use Leonardo for Teams or Leonardo Teams, you're able to kind of see what your colleagues used as prompts to kind of work and build things together. But these are really high energy images. I haven't upscaled these, but if you upscaled it, you'd be able to create some really fun stuff. So, okay, great. Let's go make one, and I'll show you the kind of terms that are used to create something like as complex as that. And then we'll go do the little apple juice piece as well. Okay, so if we go in here. Oh, great. These are rendered out. Right, they're beautiful. And so I think these are really nice in terms of like seeing, this is quite a different output just with this falling motion. I think I must have had some text that spoke to that. They're working well. Okay. So for that hyper complex one, with all the little characters, it's a complex photo of a glass of orange juice set in a dreamlike pool party, featuring all these details, overflowing with a diverse crowd of miniature people with bright curly hair, wearing swimsuits, etc. And I think I had it either on creative or dynamic. Now, these are going to give you a different output every time. Even if you wanted like an illustration style, it could be kind of fun for something like that. Vibrant, I think, would work as well. So this is simply with a prompt, we're able to create like incredibly complex image, which we can kind of, again, iterate back and forth on. We can change the hair and change the pool to, like, it was meant to be like a big Willy Wonka, like orange juice party scene, playing with. Okay, as those go through, I'm just going to show you the apple thing, which I also thought was kind of interesting. So if you're trying to like maintain a material, and I think that was something that I was doing with where are you, apple juice? Okay, cool. It was, here we go, with your prompts. Okay, so this is cool. This is when it's gone and helped me improve my prompt. But where I actually started was something so basic. It was like something like an apple being a half-peeled, like a half-peeled apple, something. Half-peeled apple with the apple skin spelling the word apple, something like that. Now I go to this thing on the right side, which is improve prompt. So I'm like, please improve my very mediocre prompt because I did a bad job. So it's a partially consumed apple, skin peeled off to spell the word apple, sits on the table, the fruit, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to put it on cinematic because I want like photorealism with my apple skin. Now, because I am saying that I want the word to be made out of a material, that it's going to make that. Now, if I just wanted like an apple with text above in like a blocky font, I would just say that. Or I would say I want it in a cursive font, or I want it sans serif, or I want like, so you can articulate which kind of font you're aiming for. Or if you want the word to be spelled out of something. I saw a lot of really, really fun creative stuff online where like, gosh, I don't know, like words are spelled out of like lots of puppy dogs and all this other random stuff. So it's a really easy way of going about that. And these images are just hyper complex, which is really exciting. And I think like getting that motion is really important. So being able to work back and forth on things. There you go. That's my apple. Okay, cute. So yeah, like it's been able to kind of carve it out. That one's spelled wrong, so I would go it again and make sure we're spelled correctly. That one's cute, a bit weird. I would spell it again. Change the word to apple. So to be a bit more clear. I'll try again. And then another thing I wanted to do was like change the scene. So maybe if I'm like, no, I want the scene to be different. I might put this through and I'm going to go, like, I don't know, make the background a lunchbox. A lunchbox. I don't know, something like that. Okay, so yeah, this is like a very different way of I worked previously. We're going to go into image guidance in just a second, but yeah, I think this is kind of going to be changing how we go about our iterating. Like I think this is really something very special and seamless, and with a few words you can kind of create something amazing, which is cool. Okay, I'll let that quickly roll. There we go. Okay, so it's spelled the word properly now. I think that initial render was just trying to get everything in, whereas I can be a bit more specific. Ooh, I'm going to go with this one. That one's quite good. Or you could go tidy it up in like the additional software. Okay, now let's do something that isn't Phoenix. I mean, this is some of the outputs that I got earlier, which were really, really nice. I think being able to articulate that kind of like inside a vintage lunchbox surrounded by worn fabric, a slightly rusty hinges, partially peeled apple lies before us, its skin unwinding an elegant flowing script to spell the word juice, with each connected letter seamlessly blending into the text. Now, something that is very notable with Phoenix compared to anything else is the adherence to the prompt. It is incredibly adherent to the prompt. Now, what that means is you want to write a good prompt, because if I had specified that this apple had like like liquid dew, like dew on it, or it was like product photography, or it was in a busy bustling scene in a shopping center, like the terms that I use are quite impactful for the image. So if I say a bustling shopping center, the atmosphere in the room feels full of messy chaos. You're going to see that in the image because of how adherent it is to prompts. So being able to be incredibly articulate is how you get very, very, very good outputs. Okay, I'm gonna start this new workflow, which is our old school image guidance stuff. So if we're all happy with that, let's move on to the next kind of way of working. Right. So the next thing we're going to go to is to image guidance. Now, right now, Phoenix doesn't work with image guidance. So image guidance is this drop-down thing on the left here. If I don't know if you can see it there. It's not compatible right now. I'm sure this is going to change, but if you're wanting to use image guidance, we'll go to more of an old school workflow. So I'm going to go to cinematic. In my head, I'm going to make this like orange juice commercial is where I'm kind of going with this idea. So I'm going to say a glass of orange juice sitting on an outdoor table, European summer, classy food photography shot. I have no idea. Classy food photography, something like that. We also have a food photography preset stuff, so I might actually just chuck it on that. And I'm going to say improve my prompt because that was pretty bad. Refreshing vibrant glass of orange juice glistens in the thing. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, brilliant. Now it's going to give me like a whole scene in the background. I'm going to be using this to remove background. So I might actually quickly specify that I want it just against a clean background. So refreshing my web, I'll say the beautiful, I don't know, the enticing drink is against a stark white background product photography. Okay, let's try that. Something like that. Okay, now as that is processing, okay, good. Okay, we've got this. I don't love any of them. That's going to work just fine for what I'm trying to show you guys. So we'll just use this one as an example. Okay, now I am going to, again, use this remove background feature where I'm going to go and strip it because I'm looking specifically for items. Now, this is a workflow where I kind of like create and build out a scene how I want it in terms of a composition. If you're happy, we just go with the system and use words to be like, put this in the foreground, put it in the background, put this to the left, do this to the right. Totally. If you're somebody who really, really enjoys like composing a shot, this is how you go about doing it. Okay, so we're going to download my little transparent thing. Great. And then I'm going to go get like a woman reading a book in, I don't know, what was my previous prompt? Let's go see what I wrote last time. Yeah, okay, so we've got, this is the kind of scene that I had. Okay, oops. Okay, and I'm put it on cinematic instead. This shot was inspired by the movie Normal People. I was just thinking, or maybe it was Conversation with Friends, whatever that movie was. So I wanted kind of this like moody, relaxing outdoor summer scene that we're making. Now, I initially did ask for like a drink in the foreground for this, but it didn't render it for some reason. And so that was okay because I was just going to use it as a back and forth workflow. Now, as that loads, let's go into where I actually edit this. So this I would do in real-time Canvas. Let's confirm the background. So let's just say this, it's generated. Oh, I changed the prompt. So that was meant to be a woman in the background. So let's go and get this picture of a girl reading on the sofa. Okay, cool. So she's there. Okay, now I want her to be in the right of the frame and I want then this glass of juice to be in the foreground. So I can either do it using this generate thing. So a glass of orange juice in a crystal, with ice or something. Sure. That one's all right. And I can remove the background like that. So this is one way of working. Or you can take that image that we made just before. So it could either be like that, or I could do that drop in that we just made. I'll add it in. It's loaded. Okay. And then we go there. So it depends which one you prefer. I actually like this other one. Okay, good. And then I'm going to add a wooden table, a wooden crate or something. A wooden crate. Wooden table. Maybe like, yeah, that one's right. That's right. Oh god, I don't know. That's too many options. I'll use this one. That's fine. Oh no, the other one. Sure, I'll use that. That's fine. And then remove background feature again. So this is like a more of a manual way of constructing an image. And we'll go take that and I would put that to the background. So you've got these little arrows that send back, send forward. I'm going to send that one further back. So your basic like layering that you do with most image software. And I'm going to put that here. And I'm going to put that there in the foreground. And I'm going to make that a little bit bigger. Okay, so I would like go and build the scene that I'm trying to make. Sure, that's fine. Something like that. Okay. Now, as you can see, I've got the image on the right, and I'm just going to quickly add some terms. I'm going to say a glass. This is just so it gets a bit more clear. Glass of orange juice. Orange juice in the foreground. A woman reading a book in the background. And I can set one of these. Sure. Let's quickly make the image a bit bigger. Okay, beautiful. I'm going to go quickly instant refine. So this sits up there. It just looks at the image that I have and tries to make it a little bit better. Okay, that's fine. And then I'm going to download this. Now, I am using this image solely as a content reference to give direction to my scene. This is not that I'm happy with this image. It's that I'm using it as like a reference point to build from. Okay, so let's make sure that we're not in Phoenix. We'll have to be in any of the other ones. So I'm going to go into cinematic and I'm going to put it, I like this cinematics. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put it on moody so you can get an idea of the different like feels. Okay, so I'm now going to do image guidance. Now this comes with this button up the top left here. And you'll see if we do this drop down, you get a few more options. So I think we briefly touched on it during 101. This is where we sit with content reference, style reference, character reference, edge to image, depth to image. All of these are very, very helpful tools. So it depends on what you're trying to do for a scene. I am going to use content reference because I want to use this scene that I've specifically built. Okay, I'm going to bring this one in there, and I'm going to put the content reference probably around a mid, and I'm going to say a moody photograph of a glass of orange juice in the foreground, sitting on a wooden table with a woman reading a book in the background. I might even say this is a bit blurry in the background, or I could use DSLR. That could be a pretty interesting. HDR. There's a long switch. No, I'll keep on reading. I like it. Okay, cool. And so she's doing red in the background, and then it's a hot European summer day. The juice with ice seeming refreshing. This is a romantic, I don't know, commercial for juice. Something like that. Okay. Okay, I'm also just going to use my, I've used too many words. So if you use too many words, the improve prompt feature won't work. Oh, why is that doing? Nope, I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. I wrote this prompt earlier, so I'll just quickly get it. So I said it's a beautiful summer day, feels classical, inspired by the color grade of normal people. I love that movie. Okay, let's go. Right now, what is interesting as well is this different effects that we're going to be able to get using style reference. Now, if I were to make like a full kind of campaign, if we go and have a look at some of my previous ones, so like if you're making say like an Instagram advertisement or something, you might have like multiple images of the same kind of the same kind of scene. So this was like a bit of an alternate version of that. Now, the initial image I actually edited using like a different workflow. So if we have a look at the original image, you'll notice that her book is multiple books. You'll notice that the table doesn't really make sense with where her legs are. So let me show you how I fixed that using the real-time canvas. So I'm going to download this image. So again, just as reference, this is where we started. And then this is where I ended up with this picture, which is a usable kind of image, which is nice. Okay, so that was done. Again, back in this real-time canvas space. We clear that out. Sure. And we put that image back in. Where was it? Is that the original? No, where are you? That was it. Okay. So I was like, I need to get rid of that. I need to get rid of that. And so if we have my color picker, I went and got a color of the background. I did my little doodle onto this, and I got rid of it because I was like, no, I don't want that to be there. So you'll notice in the right side there, it's just going to clean that up a little bit better. It's getting rid of it as I kind of work. That's better. Okay, good. The table, now there's a few different ways of doing it, whether you use this painting kind of like matching pixel color. If I go take that or something like that. Okay, good. And I can kind of like paint that out. Here we go. I'll make it a bit more grassy because I want to really remove that. So you can either work like that with the paint, or I'll show you the other way of doing it. You might just want to add like a little bit of variation with this so it knows that it's grass rather than thinking it's like an object or something. I don't know. That was all right. Sure, something like that. And then I'm going to go instant refine, and here we go. It's fixed it up, and I'm going to download that. Again, I'm using this as a reference, so it doesn't matter that that's kind of like cartoony, because it doesn't matter because I'm using it as a background reference. Okay, so this was that image we made before using that kind of reference. I'm going to clarify that it was outside. I need to do that. But if we go and take this picture that we just made, okay, good. So we've got that composition. Okay, so that's the content, and I'm going to have the content quite high. And then because I want to maintain that photography, like this beautiful, moody kind of feel, I can keep the original and use it as a style reference. Now I'm going to put the style reference. I'm actually going to put it ultra or high. I mean, anyway, this just means that it's going to be informed by the the style of this photo. So if we run, I'm going to run two side by side. Sorry, let me just go get my old prompt. Yes, I'm going to do them side by side so you get an idea of what is the kind of result. Make sure I get, here we go. That's my original prompt. Okay. And I've got it on moody. I might put it on cinematic. Okay, so let's run that. And then I'm going to show you if we do it with a different style. So it's meant to be very silly and fun. Okay, so if I do like the high on this one, you're going to get a very different output. Now, I'm just going to get rid of this moody European thing. And I'm going to say, blah, 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 feels playful and bright, full of energy and full of energy. Cool. I'm also going to change the style preset to maybe like a vibrant. You get a different result. Okay, good. Run that through. So what you're going to get is two different styles based off that the aesthetic. So we're looking forward to seeing this. Okay, so this is the image that we just fixed. It's changed. I didn't say reading a book. I said holding a cup, I think is what I've said. Pretty. Now she's looking quite good. You'll notice the lighting here is just beautiful. Like I absolutely love the way this has been lit. So this is gonna be my hero. I'm gonna start upscaling. Now we have a few different ways of upscaling, and it depends on, again, this iterative workflow you're working on, whether you want to do it at speed, whether you want to do it at the very end. It's totally down to your style. So here you have Alchemy Smooth upscale. So Smooth is more for illustration and cartoon stuff. So I think there was a picture of me as a cartoon before. Where did it go? Here we go. Oops, that was a broken one. Here we go. So this is some like work I did using my face as a character reference. And it's this really, really cutesy like cartoon style. So I would use the smooth feature of upscaling on that. Then you have crisp upscale, and crisp is for digital art, 3D renders. So anytime I do, like any 3D work, I'll kind of like clean up with that. And then we have Alchemy Upscaler. So this is going to do like a general thing. It's pretty good at hands and faces, so making sure that they're clean and great. So I'm going to chuck it on that one for now. And then you get this thing called Refiner Strength. So you can kind of choose how strong you want it. I wouldn't recommend going too high. You'll just get a different kind of look and a distortion. So I'm going to put it on low. As that processes, I'm just going to download this image and I'm going to show you the difference if you use the upscalers in the universal upscaler. So universal upscaler sits in the left-hand column. It's here and here. We'll go put it in here and let's get this image. So we'll go in your gens. Just going to quickly grab that one. Okay, pull that through. Great. Now my upscaling here is a bit different. So as you noticed with that previous thing, so you've got smooth, crisp, Alchemy Upscaler, and then you go to Universal Upscaler and you get more options. So what's great about this upscaling is it's very specific for your desired outcome. So if you want something to be an illustration, if you're working on an illustrative style, definitely use that. You'll get a different look. Cinematic, self-explanatory, and game assets. So again, that's like a different render. Or we have a general upscaler. I'm going to put it on cinematic because I quite like this. And then the strength determines how intense the editing difference is. If I put that very high, you're going to get like very, very different results. So if we have a look again, I think we covered a little bit of this in 101. But yeah, these were some of the other upscaling differences. Whoop, that was when it was out of 10, right? I completely broke it. It was for a use case example. And I think these are some of my little things that I was making before. So you can get very different like results in the faces and the skin, and like the orange. If you go have a look at this orange, like the details are really quite notably different. So we go grab that little girl that I was working on. Okay, good. We'll go get her and put the creative strength at a medium and upscale. So this is the one that I did earlier. You'll see the details of this hand change phenomenally. So this is where we started. That was the original out of the gen. And then this is how we get, it's like, that is beautiful. Cleans it up perfectly. That to me is like industry. I could use that in industry, which is really amazing. Her face goes from being quite blurry and non-important to this very, very, very pretty detailed skin, and you've got well lighting and her hair sits really well. So this upscaler is phenomenal. I love it. I think it's one of our best features. So you can play around with that. Great, but it can totally also be accessed from this feed as well. It's a different style. Now, you should be able to see the difference with using that other image as a style reference. So that was using this very, very colorful, playful thing. You get like a much more messy, fun, chaotic effect versus that kind of like moody vibe, which I was going for before. And that is all driven from this backend. Now, if we wanted to give a different example of content reference for background, I might put on, here we go. This was a scene I was building before of her like going to the fridge. This I made using that process before I showed you in the real-time gen. So like compositing a scene with like, I built a fridge, I built a girl and put that there. You could also do it for sketching. Like if you are somebody who really enjoys the creative workflow of like a scene. So we start from scratch. I'm just going to go fridge, door open. Oh, there you go. Sure. That's fine for me. Get rid of the background, blah, 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 blah. And I'm going to say a woman opening a fridge, shopping bags on the floor. Okay, so that's the scene I'm going to build. That's my fridge there. I'm also going to make a kitchen. Oops. I'm going to make a kitchen. So a warm, inviting kitchen. Something like that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, put it in background. So I'm going to build out this scene here. Put the fridge on. I might need to move it around a bit. Anyway, okay, so we'll put this here. the sake of experiment, I'll show you something else. Okay, and then if I wanted my girl, I could draw her or I could generate her. Let's just put her here like this. She's going to be, oh, why isn't that working? Okay, so I'm going to be hello, and she's here, and standing, opening the door there, and then she's going to be holding a shopping bag as well. Okay. Wow, I'm so glad I went to art school for this. That is not how a person stands, but again, for the sake of experiment, let me just give me the time of day. Okay, so I'm going to put the creativity strength up a little bit more, and I'm going to put it on, I don't know, product, whatever. Okay, just give me the benefit of the doubt, guys. Okay, so this is the creativity strength. And when this is the theme that's going on, I'm going to press instant refine up there. Great. So I have my thing. And then I'm going to see, look how well she turned out. Phenomenal. I'm going to quickly download this image. Okay, great. I'm going to go back into image gen and I'm going to, use one of these ones. Okay, cool. And then I'm going to use it as content reference again. So here we go again, content reference. And I'm just going to chuck in my fridge. Beautiful. And I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to say content reference. So, oops, a woman opening a fridge door, a woman opening a fridge door, carrying shopping bags. I have no swag. Something like that. Improve my prompt, make it a little bit better for me, please. Openly fit, sure, that's like a nice scene. I want to show you some of the other styles. So let's do some other stuff. Let's do an illustration. Let's make it an illustration. And I'm gonna maybe do like a stylized illustration. Now, this is where I'm also going to show you some elements. Now, this is just like a work on the fly, so we're just going to have a play around, but this is where elements sit. So they sit down here. Now, our elements are lauras, if you're familiar with that term. So these have been trained to be very, very good at a specific thing. So, for example, this one's very good at like 3D sculpting, and this one's excellent at fiery flames. If I were to create any image that included fire, I would always turn on this Laura because it is well trained to be able to create that like very fiery effect. We also have very popular elements. People like the Glasgow one. If you're creating like a comic book, like put this on because it will be able to make that style like consistent across all of your images. Okay, so I am going to put on I don't really know, Toon Anatomy. I think this one's quite cute. And maybe I might even chuck on 3D as well. So you're allowed to do some. Sometimes they don't like if you put on too many, but for the sake of this, I'm going to put it on. This image is a master of vivid realism. I'm going to get rid of that. And it's masterpiece of this image is a like a cartoon scene. Oh, oops. I'll say the image is a cartoon scene of a woman in a kitchen. The kitchen is messy and full of energy and love. It feels warm and kind. I don't know. Let's see how that goes. You might take that black background. So let me just get rid of it. I'll need this process to get rid of it and then we'll chuck it in again. Or alternatively, we can go back where we were editing in our canvas editor and chuck in a background. Whoops. So I can either make a kitchen. So I could go to image gen and make a particular kitchen that I wanted, or I can just do a thing in here. Say a kitchen. Yeah, that's fine. Send it to the back. Put it here. It might just help with the stuff. Oops, that doesn't look very kitcheny. In a warm kitchen. Home kitchen. Okay, so here we go. Yeah, so this was because I had that background black, which is why we've got this result. But this is like really, really cute kind of like output that, we made in half a minute. she kind of looks like me. That's funny. I can put my character reference on it. Okay, cool. Now, if you, I'm just going to show you character reference as well because I think it's quite a good feature. Now, I had previously made like a version of my face with the toon thing. So this is going to work well because I've already made myself as a cartoon. But otherwise, the process would just be like take a photo of yourself and use that as character reference to make an image of a cartoon, then put it back on. Okay, I'm going to check myself in this, and I'm going to get rid of. So this is that workflow that I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the background. I'm going to say remove background. Give me my picture, please. Give a minute. I've also got that other one. Changed the composition though. So yeah, so if you're doing like I work in film, so if I do like a lot of storyboards and that kind of stuff, and I want to be able to like define specifically what the scene is and how it works. So this is a really helpful workflow for doing that. So I've just got rid of that. I've just made it a transparent background, which I think will be more helpful for building out this scene. Okay, that should work better. Big woman, great shapes, rich door, outside shopping bags. La 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 la. I don't know why that won't do that. Oh, so upset it. Anyway. Okay, cool. So this is the intro of using these different features. I use a lot of them, and I use a lot of them in combination. Now you can have you can use one of these at a time. So start, you can use one style reference, one character reference, one content reference, one depth reference. So you can kind of like iterate back. You also notice the difference between pose to image versus content reference. So if I was doing a scene with a human specifically, there's a really fun way of like just go in your like get your roommate or your partner to take a photo of you in all of these different positions, and then you can just go immediately post image, and your character will be in the position of you just like having dance in your living room doing the different poses. So people who I see like a lot of like indie filmmakers, they make amazing scenes of just like them running around the house with a Nerf gun being photographed, and then putting these in as pose content to be able to make these like epic like fight scenes and stuff like that. So these are really, really helpful features. As that renders out, it's almost done. I know that we're almost at time, so I think I have to add the background.
Yes,
Yeah.
hello. Yes, sorry, I wanted to interrupt quickly just because we're coming close to time. But this has been a really good session. I think people have gotten a lot out of it, and thank you everyone for your comments and all of your feedback. It'd be interesting to see where that last generation went, where you added all of the image guidance, the one that you just
Which
put out there.
one?
Yeah,
One of these ones?
Oh no, I think that last one that you just rendered, right?
Yeah, I just realized I didn't put the background in properly. That's what's changed. But yeah, sorry. But she's changed her eyes to try and mimic me more. I have very distinct hair, so I would have to specify that in my prompt, which I didn't. But these are I hope you just get an idea of the different styles of capability that are in this thing. Like it's crazy. Like the fact that we're able to make so many characters and like feel full and alive is just very, very, very exciting. Like these I would consider to be like professional grade. Like if I saw this in any sort of advertisement, like it's beautiful. And we were able to make that in in a few minutes in the morning. Also for stuff like patterns is really cool. Like this was some earlier stuff that I was doing in terms of layout. Like if you're a graphic designer, like you might be like, oh, I want this thing, but I can't figure out the best way for a layout. Like it's so good to be able to iterate different ideas. I was like, help me come up with like a cool layout for a food magazine, and yeah.
So
I think
just coming on time. So I'll just take away the screen share for 1 second. Close things out. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you're inspired today by anything you saw and you'd like to share your creations on social media, be sure to tag Leonardo Learn, and we'll be sure to repost all of the best images. You can sign up on your screen there to the next webinar. There's a QR code. It's also pinned in the comments. And if you're interested in using Leonardo as part of your business, you can sign up to Leonardo for Teams and get a free pilot there as well. Thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Thank you, Jessie, as always, for your incredible work. Sorry to cut you off there. I know that
I can
we
do
probably
this for hours. I know,
probably
this is
could
a
have kept going
problem.
for hours.
Yeah.
And I can tell that you'd have a loyal following of people who'd probably follow you deep into the night, morning,
We can make
afternoon,
things.
wherever you
Yeah.
are. Yeah, thank you all for joining us, and please do join us again for 103, where we're
Yeah.
gonna deep dive into some expert workflows as well.
Yeah. 103, we're gonna get like into the nitty-gritty. I'm hoping with this you got an idea of like if I were to do a campaign, how I would go about doing it, and the amount of creative possibility that can come with just like I got new ideas as I was working. I was like, oh, what if she did this? What if it was a goldfish? What if this happened? And how does it lay out? So like in terms of a creative process, like it's so fun. And totally go and have a play with Phoenix and that edit with AI feature. It's like nothing else. It's like nothing else. It's like everything I've ever wanted to be able to be like, no, that's wrong. Do this instead. And it will just do it. So that's awesome. And then being able to take images like from Phoenix, like maybe it's a text that you really liked, and then compiling it in like real time canvas, and then going back in and using that as image guidance with one of the other things. So it's a lot of playing, but that's kind of like when you want to work to get exactly what you want. Like it's all there. We have full creative control, which is great.
You'll love this comment from Rodrigo. Let her talk more, Joel, please. But unfortunately, Rodrigo, it's 9 a.m. here in Australia, and we have to get on with the workday. We have other things to do.
I don't want to play.
I'm sure, Jessie, you could probably keep talking, but no, we're coming up on time. But yeah, please do follow us along. Follow Leo wherever you'd like, social media, email. But otherwise, love to see you at the next webinar.
Yeah, we're going to see some amazing developments roll out in the next little while as well. So really do, have a play. I'm so excited. It's also fun. Yay.
Give Jessie her own Twitch stream.
I know. I need to get it together. Actually, guys, we bought a kit. I have a microphone. I'm ready for my streaming live.
Yeah. All right.
Amazing. Oh, I didn't turn the ring light on, Joe. I'm so sorry.
That's all right. Your YouTube influencer days are ahead of you. Don't worry.
I know. I need training. I'm so sorry, everybody. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining in. Please tag us in everything that you make. We like to reshare things, and I love seeing the different processes that everybody's working on because it helps us learn how you're learning. And we want to work on this as well as we can.
Cool.
Mad.
See everybody.
Bye, everybody. See you next week. Thank you.